My name is Laura Christine, if you haven't met me yet, and I work with people who are truly seeking, their selves and their truth, and if they are ready to really find that light within and who they are, I am a guide and a teacher into getting access to that light and following it with courage and grace. It's really, really awesome to be able to do that. Your life will change in the most incredible ways, and it can also be a little bit sticky, or there's if you're suffering now, wherever you're at, that doesn't, like, the reasons to suffer never stop, but we are able to overcome that in different ways and in more beautiful ways. And when we're living our light and our soul is expressing through us, we become radiant. And that's why I love this word, radiant. Our radiance is really our soul expressing through us. And that is the attracting force in our lives. So then we become better manifestors. It's like this whole thing. It's really wonderful. Today, I'm talking to you about the nature of the earth, and not like the trees and the plants and everything, which are awesome, but I'm talking about like the dualistic nature or the dualistic reality of the earth, why it's here, why we're on it, and what we can do about it being here, right? So I wanted to share some, I even created a little handout. I was really hoping that I could share my screen during my live video, but once I start the live, it doesn't let you share your screen anymore. And that's okay. It is what it is. But I did want to do that. And I think it's going to be easier to understand with this little thing. So I'll hold it closer up and hopefully you can read it when I go over this. Okay. So the earth is dualistic. I'm actually going to start with my soul writing because I think it just kind of explains the stuff that's going on right now. There's so much joy, which is harder to see when you're not looking for it, because on the mainstream, in the news and all of that, it's kind of just showing all the fear, which there's plenty of as well. So there is definitely that dualistic nature of fear and faith right now, of joy and bliss and the love emotions, and then the fear, the hatred, the anger, the frustration, which are more the fear side of this coin. Now, and we can think of that as dark and light too. So if you want to think of like the yin yang, where there's that white aspect and then that dark aspect, and within each, the dark and the light, there is a speck of the other, right? Well, that really is kind of like, oh yeah, that's the earth in a nutshell. And the ratio of those dark and light will change all the time. I need some water, so you know what? Join me, get some water. So earth is a place and a space of duality. So think of it as a learning center created for souls who are ready to transcend duality and learn that all is one. So this makes sense. If you've been on a spiritual path for a while, you've probably heard something along these lines. Okay, most don't. Most don't transcend duality. And that's okay. At least not for a very long time. So Earth is like this place that's been around for ages and ages, and it's going to be around for ages and ages, and it is here as a learning place. We've heard it called the classroom before. I didn't really like school, so I don't go there so much, but most people don't transcend duality, at least not for a very long time here. There's much exploration to be done, but the greatest point is, and this is important to hear right now, there will never be a time when all is dark or all is light. So if you think of the symbol for yin yang, in the white there is a speck of black, and in the black there is a speck of light. So in the dark there's a speck of light, and in the light there's a speck of dark. It's not going to change. Like, it's not going to be all good or all bad here. Because if it is, then it will dissolve. So earth is not meant to become all good. It is in a state of duality for the purpose of souls like you and me to be able to transcend duality. We can't do that if duality is not present. Okay. There will always be those who are in the light of love, and there will never, oh, I already said this. Okay, never mind. I already said that there will never be a time when all inhabitants are the light, because if this were the case, Earth would have served its purpose, and it would disintegrate or deconstruct or dissolve. So while it's a difficult place to be of the light right now, this opportunity to surpass the ego's determination to change everyone is giant. The only focus is to integrate the light and dark within and transcend duality in yourself. You will never, never, never change the whole planet. So if you are feeling pressured to change the whole planet, please remove that burden. It's not meant to be fully light. It is not. And there's a long, long, long time before we either all ascend into the light, right? Or descend into the dark. And it's not going to be tomorrow, and it's not going to be next year, and it's not going to be 1,000 years from now either. There's a lot of time left. This is where I'm going to get into the Autobiography of a Yogi, which is a book I highly, highly recommend. It, like, the second you start reading it, your vibration just, boom, it goes up a little bit. So, this book by Paramahansa Yogananda, maybe said that wrong, I'm not sure, but it's just phenomenal. And he's talking about his particular guru, his master, and talking about I think he was talking about astrology and stuff, and then he got into like the ages and the cycles of the earth and where we're at. And it's really, really interesting. So I actually have this printed out because I'm hoping, oops, that's descending. I'm hoping this makes more sense with a little graphic. So I'll hold it up when I need to, or when I feel I need to, and then I can share this I'll create a JPEG of it so I can share it. But there are a couple of different ways to look at the cycle of Earth. One of them is kind of this universal cosmic cycle, and we are in Kali Yuga in that cycle. But that cycle is so long that I can't even like comprehend. It is, okay, 4,300,560,000 years, which is a day of creation, times, hold on, 100,000 million billion 314 trillion 159 billion solar years. So we're not going to go there because that's too long. That's just like crazy how long that is. However, there's another way of looking at the cycles of Earth, and within this Kali Yuga, there are cycles that are 48,000 years. 24,000 years. 24,000 years. We're not going to live that long, I promise. So right now, we're in the second yuga or age, which is corresponding to the Greek idea of the Bronze Age. We're here, in here. So what have we learned here? Well, telephones, cell phones, radios, airplanes, space annihilators, right? You are looking at me from I have no idea where in the world, but we're together. That would not have been possible had we not entered this age of annihilating space. Okay? From AD 500 to 1700, there's the Kali Yuga in this kind of cycle of Earth. And that's just, it's materialism. And when I think materialism, yes, I do think things, but I also think we're so preoccupied with the physical aspect of what we are, and like our body is kind of where our limits stop. Now we're in this age of, again, space annihilators. So our bodies are not our limit anymore. Now we can talk to people across the world, like an instance. So that is actually a 2400 year cycle. And we're going up, guys. We are going up. This is the upside. We're in the second phase of going up. So the next year, the next age is the Silver Age. I want to get the light right. So that's going to be from, 4100 to 7700, and that's where we're going to know telepathy. Boom. Some of us already know telepathy. Some of us are already telepathic, aren't we? So it feels really, really not that great to be down here if your consciousness is more up here. But we're all going to have all of these aspects all the time. We're on Earth, right? Even the great masters, when you read about them when they were kids or even later in life, they had some crap. They're human. They had karma or whatever they had. So it's not like all of a sudden, guys, we're going to go from here to here tomorrow. It's not happening. I don't care what happens. It's not happening. I know, I'm bleak. No one's going to like this. That's okay. So then after that, after the Silver Age, then we are in this ascending arc of the Golden Age, Satya Yuga, or Sat Yuga in the huge cosmic cycle, Sat Yuga or Satya Yuga, which we're in Kali Yuga right now, which is, if you know who Kali is, she's the goddess of destruction and rebirth. Isn't it perfect? Isn't that exactly where we are? And then in that cycle, or in that period of destruction and rebirth, we have surpassed total materialism, and we're beginning as a whole, as a humanity, to come into annihilating space. And we're going to annihilate time, and then we're just going to be highly developed souls, all of us. We're going to be working in harmony with the divine plan, and there's still going to be a speck of dark, because this is Earth, and that is what it is for. Now that's going to be the ascending arc, and then later on it goes back, and it becomes more of a circle than what I did here. But our left brains are pretty happy with this probably. So then it will descend. We'll go from the Golden Age, where we're working in divine harmony with the divine plan, and then we're going to come down, and we're going to start to forget that. But we're still going to be telepathic, and then we're going to start to forget that. But we're still going to be able to do Zooms. And we're going to forget that. And then we're going to fall into ignorance again. But luckily, the darker ages, these Kali Yugas, the Iron Age, they're the shortest ones. They're only 1,200 years. And then we get 2,400 years, and then we get 3,600 years. And then really we get 96, because 48 times 2, with the ascending part of the Golden Age and then the descending. So that's where that is. I have no idea if this is helping you, but what I'd like to do now is kind of like separate ourselves from all that and just kind of put ourselves into a place right now. So we'll do a little meditation. Go ahead and close your eyes wherever you're at, and sit or stand. It doesn't really matter. Lie down. And we're just gonna back up. So from where you're seated, snakes, from where you're seated, just allow yourself, take a breath first. And then, you're not going to leave where you are, but we're going to expand. So I want you to really see your energy field expanding out in all directions. Expand out so far. Just keep going. You're going to expand far beyond the edges of the earth, and even the galaxy. Take your conscious awareness out that far. Expand yourself out that far. And now, yes, you are this body, the soul in this body, but you're also all of that and all of this and everything. And bring your consciousness to, an outer edge of that expansion that you've given yourself. And look now at where you are. Allow yourself to see into time and into space. To see the cycles and to see the whole. To celebrate that we are in the ascending arc of this cycle, and we are moving toward the love, the light. Take a moment to reflect within yourself how feeling that love and the light changes the whole picture. When you are in your own knowing of truth, you are yourself in your own little golden age, where you work in harmony with the divine plan. That is what raises the consciousness of all the earth, bit by bit. That is what is bringing us into, in many years, but this ascending arc into the next age, into the silver age, where more people are going to understand who and what they are, what they have within them, what they are capable of. They're going to realize that they are beyond time, they're definitely beyond space, and they're definitely beyond the material. And they're going to see that there is even more freedom as they go in more and more, as they ascend in. We don't ascend up, we ascend in. That is where God is. Give yourself a moment of gratitude and of grace. No matter how you are handling the tumult that's going on right now, all that matters is what you choose next, what you choose now. And loving yourself is the highest thing you can ever do. So I encourage you to shine some love onto yourself. It is not up to you to change the whole world. It is simply up to you to change yourself. And when you do, you are changing the world. It takes the burden off. And when the burden is off, then the light is there. And the light is what we need to move into the next phase of our incredible existence on this planet. We're so blessed to be here now. It seems like maybe not, because of the stress and because of the wear on our nervous systems and because of the lack of clarity and the hatred and the evil and the ignorance out there. But that isn't what we are. That's not who you are. You know who and what you are. And if you bring yourself to that center and that place where you can work in harmony with the divine plan, then you will transcend the duality of the earth. You yourself will. And then you don't have to come back if you don't wanna. This is my understanding of it. We'll see. I'll report back next lifetime whether or not I had a choice. I don't think, you know what? Not even gonna say that. Heck, if I can transcend duality this time, I'm going for it. I hope it works. We'll see. But take a breath. Take a breath. Give gratitude for the life. You are an eternal soul. You can open your eyes, wiggle around a little bit, come back, bring your energy back to the body, and wrap yourself in your own love. Now, how in the heck do we get closer and closer and go in and in and in, especially when all this crap is going on around all outside of us? But it's definitely affecting us because we're empathic and we're sensitive and we are perceptive and we know and we feel what's going on. And that can be a challenge. Well, the thing that I found most beneficial is meditation. And the meditations that I find most beneficial are through Kundalini Yoga. And the Kriyas through Kundalini Yoga help us to tune the body and energize the body, but really to condition, that's the word that I was looking for, condition the body to allow more light into the nervous system for our greatest potential to rise up from within us. Because your enlightenment is within you right now. And I love all the teachers that are like, it's just a choice. It's like, okay, whatever. I'm trying. But it is within you. And it takes dedication to that truth that you are. And I am beyond thrilled to share Kundalini Yoga in a free masterclass with you, where I'm going to talk about the human, us, each of us as 10 bodies. This really amazing system of being aware of who we are, what we are, and how to really function in this world and how to really strengthen what we need to strengthen in order to overcome this duality, to be able to let the stress go, to be able to dissolve the barriers that are keeping us from our truth and our freedom and our inner peace. We are kicking out the self-saboteur. We don't need to sabotage ourselves anymore. We are at an awareness that that's simply not necessary. So I wholeheartedly invite you to this. It's next Friday at this same time, and it's on Zoom. So I'm not going to be doing a live here. I'm going to be doing a class that's more interactive on Zoom. So I will include the registration in the comments here, and I highly recommend that you hop in and join us for that. If you're not able to make the time, like you're catching this replay and you're like, oh, I can't do this time, don't worry, because I'm going to give you the recording. So you're still going to have all the info, just like you are now with this replay. I'm going to send you a link where you can watch the replay of that as well. And we're going to move our bodies, and we're going to really, really tune in and go within, and it's just going to be phenomenal. And I absolutely love this stuff, and I shine when I when I teach, because that is my soul expressing itself, which again is your radiance. Radiant people are the ones who are allowing their soul to be expressed through them. And that is what I wish for you, because it is such a blissful and empowering feeling. And you just know that you're here on purpose. And there's no better feeling than that. Well, maybe there is. I don't like limits. But how does it feel better than that? Like, I don't know, but let's find out. Because the more you look, the more there is to look for and see. The more you see, the more you want. It's just awesome. So I hope you join me there Also want to just mention that I do have a couple of things that where if you're feeling like your antenna is just like blocked from your messages or your spirit, or you're just feeling like you need some guidance and you just can't hear, I can be that antenna for you. It's something that I enjoy so much. I've been doing soul writing. I read from my soul writing journal, my personal one, today, but I do that for others as well. And then I send your message, and people are really, they're being lifted up by those. And there's nothing that gives me more joy than lifting others up. So if you're interested, I have a sliding scale for that now, 20 to 50. And I'm more than happy to do that for you. And then if that's not like enough and you need really specific thing that your left brain can really get a hold of, I do destiny design, which includes numerology. And the numerology is 5 parts of your birthday, or it's 5 numbers that we get from your birthday, and it shows you what your soul, how your soul is meant to express, so that you can feel that radiance. And we're not taught this, so it's usually a really hard thing for us to do. There's going to be barriers to that for most people. Luckily, we have Kundalini Yoga, because Kundalini Yoga will dissolve those barriers for you, and it's a self-initiated practice. So you don't have to go somewhere, ask somebody, or find a guru. You are the guru, and you can do this work, and you can dissolve your barriers, and you can move forward in light and love. I will leave you there. There's 4 more numbers, but I don't have enough time to explain them all. You can find more info on my website. You can just reach out to me. It is my highest honor to share what comes through me with you. So thank you for being here. Satnam, Satnam, Satnam. Truth is our true identity, always and always will be. Satnam.